Hi, thanks for joining us so much today for this Facebook Live. This is really something extraordinary. Dex and More has done this beautiful Dex project with Cindy Lanois, who is here. She's our homeowner, and this is an opportunity for all of you to ask questions. And Frank Pologrudo, who is the owner and founder of Dex and More, will be here in just a few minutes to answer your questions. You can also ask questions of Cindy, but Cindy, thanks so much for being here today.
You're welcome.
So first of all, tell me about why you wanted to have your deck done or renovated.
Well, I went into this just wanting a small pavilion next to my pool because I had a temporary one that kept crashing with the snow, what we had last year. So Frank came out and he showed me his vision, and I never anticipated that I could have a screened-in porch because my deck was so high. So when we talked through it and we just kind of talked through the vision of what I could have. I became really excited because I had this beautiful property, but yet I never really had a place where I could sit out and enjoy the rain.
This
So,
is a beautiful
yes.
property. And I was thinking about that today too, because I thought, what if it rains? And I thought, what if it does? So what?
Yep.
You can come out here.
I
So
can
you still
sit out
enjoy
here,
it, right?
I can watch TV, listen to the rain. It's my favorite place.
And this is really such a beautiful place. We're looking at some before pictures. So what does that make you think about when you see those before pictures?
Yes, my deck wasn't so desirable before. I mean, we had the pool, so we'd go out there, but it was just full of leaves all the time from the trees and that, and it just wasn't an open space where that really drew us out, and now it is. So,
Yeah. And tell me a little bit about how you found Dex and More.
well, I actually went online and was just looking up different companies, and I came across Dex and More. Asked Frank to come out here, and Frank and I really just hit it off. I liked what he had done, and I liked his personality and working with him, and felt like he was someone I could trust.
Yeah, and he's been in business for many years. What we're seeing right now is just a beautiful, this is how it looks now. So you can see this wide shot, you can see the pool that she has. And so now with this beautiful pavilion, there's so much to see here. We're gonna take you through some different shots and that sort of thing. So check out this drone footage of this deck. This is absolutely stunning. And be sure to ask your questions, because you might have an outdoor living space that you're thinking about having it done. And I'm sure Cindy feels like I do about mine, that you wish you had done it sooner. Just once you have it done, you love it so much. So Frank Polagrudo from
Yes.
Dex and More, the owner and founder of Dex and More, is here. And feel free to ask questions. Go ahead and put like whatever city that you're in, where you're watching from, put that in our comments. We really want this to be interactive. And Frank, tell me about like what your vision was when you first came out and you took a look at all of this.
Well, when I first met Cindy, we had an older deck, original with the building, and what we try to do is create the outdoor oasis. And with her input, with her design elements, with our knowledge and our team, and it was a collaborative effort, we came up here, we were able to design a screened-in porch with beautiful PVC columns, beautiful tile floor, which Cindy gladly helped us out, and then we were able to do a small side deck to the area, and then have an outdoor kitchen, and then that amazing outdoor living space with the covered pavilion with that high vaulted ceiling. It just it just screams, come out, enjoy the outdoors.
It really does, and it always feels like a treehouse. And this is one of the things that I wanted to talk about. I love the drone footage, but I love this shot right now that we're seeing, because you really have to see this roof and pavilion. I love the wood. Tell me a little bit about the wood that you used. It looks so high quality. It's
Yes.
so beautiful.
Well, at Dex and More, we always use like #1 grade lumber. In this particular case, we wanted to do 4 columns, and so we used 8x8 cedar columns, and they're solid cedar all the way through. And then the framing came up with some LVLs. It's just a technical term for some engineered lumber to carry the roof load. And then we were able to build up with the roof line with some 6x6 southern yellow pine, clear grade, #1 clear grade rafters. And then we had the tongue and groove, which was #1 grade pine. And then to accent it, we also, to tie in the cedar, we did cedar shake on both ends to give it more, hey, we got cedar here and cedar here. We kind of used the cedar sparingly, but more of accenting features on the shake on the angles.
Yeah, it is so beautiful. So tell me about some of the things that you see that are common problems that people have with their decks. Like, I think it's wood just rotting.
I mean, a lot of people, here's the thing, you have a wood deck, and when you buy a house, the builder doesn't tell you to stain the deck. So people get busy with their lives, they got family, they got kids, we got work, we gotta do this, and they forget about it. You gotta, if you're gonna have a wood deck, you gotta maintain it. There's other products out there that you can use that are maintenance friendly. There are composites and everything. But if you have a roof over it, you can use just about anything. And so like this, we have a natural setting. We got a roof over this, great outdoor deck. We got a roof over the outdoor kitchen. We got a roof over the screen-in porch. So it was able to use a multitude of different materials, and it really worked out very well.
And when it's as hot like it is in Atlanta, if you do not have a covered place, you might as well not have a deck because I found that I've never went outside because it's just too hot.
In July and August here, we got the dog days of summer. It even rolls in a little bit in September. But the outdoor living space is huge. People want decks, porches, pavilions, and it really makes sense to cover a portion of it so you can enjoy it all year round.
And tell me about some of the things that people need to do when they vet somebody to do an outdoor living space.
I mean, the biggest thing is I tell people everybody's going to find somebody online. But as you make the calls, and then you may call 10 people, you may get 5 people to call you back, and you may get 3 people out there. But it's important, do they have a portfolio where they can show you pictures? Do they belong to a trade organization? Have they done stuff that they can take and show you? The biggest thing is if you can get in your vehicle and go see that person's work, that's huge. And even though we tell people to do this, not many people do. If you would go there and just go see the work, at least you understand what finished product you're getting.
And there are a lot of different things, and people might quote you different on their features, but you do have to see it in person, right? And talk to past clients, right?
Absolutely. I mean, you said this is just a beautiful picture of the inside of the porch. We got high vaulted ceilings. We use #1 grade, finished beadboard. And there's 3 grades of beadboard. Everybody says they do beadboard, but there's 3 grades, and we use the highest grades possible. Highest grades on the finish, and we really pay attention to the details because we are creating that outdoor oasis for our clients, and we want to have a project that they're proud of and they're going to share it with their friends and their family.
Right, and if it's not comfortable and it's not beautiful and it's not made to last, then you're not going to be using it the way that you want to. But yeah, if I lived in this house, I would be using this all the time.
Well, just like I said, I mean, Cindy was a wonderful client. She had a great, input. We worked with her. We got her input. We worked with our guys, and we basically designed something that best suits her needs.
So we have our first question. It's
Yes.
from Ron Ballard, and he wants to know if you also do stonework.
Yes, absolutely. We're a full service contractor. We can do porches, patios, fireplaces, fire pits. So, Ron, give us a call. We'd love to help you out.
Yeah, and so we saw pictures of the outdoor kitchen. Let's talk a little bit about that and how popular those are now.
I mean, it's widely popular. Everybody wants to do an outdoor kitchen. Well, we actually frame our outdoor kitchens. We custom make them. Usually what we do is we have the client will buy, the stainless steel grill, the drawers, maybe a side burner, 2 or 3 items, and then basically we come up with a game plan that, best suits our client's needs. And whether it's a high bar top or low bar top or a roof or not a roof, but we give you these options and we design something that flows and works with the whole plan.
And what I like about this outdoor kitchen, I like that it's covered because it's crazy not to cover that because who wants to stand outside and cook when it's hot already? So I think that's great, but it also is well ventilated so that all of that does, all the smoke and everything can easily get away. And if you had guests here, you're not bothering your guests.
Well, absolutely. I mean, it gives, you have a little outside deck. You just need a cooking area where you can prepare some food and still be close to the, covered space and uncovered space so you can get quick in and access to the home if you needed, more meats or more, serving stuff. It makes perfect sense.
Yeah, and tell me what you like most about, I know you are an award-winning deck builder. You always have fabulous projects. I see all the time that Neri is honoring your projects, both nationally and locally. But tell me what drives you really about doing what you do.
I mean, we love to work with our clients. We want to make you the envy of the neighborhood. I want to, when you sit down, even if it's a basic deck, we want to do things that wow you. So if, even if you're just doing a basic project, we do about 10 things differently on the decks that most people don't do.
So tell me about some of the things that you do that we won't find ordinarily.
I mean, we do this pictured frame border that's signature to us. Some guys try to replicate it, but they don't do it as well as we do. We use number one grade lumber across the board for decking, rails, and the 6x6 post. Number one grade finishes for all the ceiling. We try to do a high vaulted ceiling. We like to do the mini beams that you see there automatically. We want to get you something that's going to best suit your needs and really design something that can last a lifetime.
So we have this question from Laura Janelle Downey, and she wants to know, what are the most popular types of decks people request for their home?
I said the most popular now is composite decking. This isn't a composite decking, it's more, real wood, but composite decking in outdoor kitchens are probably number one, number two requests. And it makes sense. People get busy lives, they don't want to have maintenance, so, you do the composite deck. It's not maintenance free, it's maintenance friendly. Occasionally you'll still have to, I call it the bird's blessings from above, and you still have to clean it during pollen season.
So what are the things, and people, I'm sure they come to you when they're doing that and ask you, to make your recommendations. What are the things that they consider on whether or not they might want to use wood or composite?
Well, I tell them, like I said, when you're doing a covered structure, you can use any product because the roof is going to protect it from the sun. The sun does the most damage. If you're going to go outside and you're worried about maintenance, yes, then you can go to more of a composite products. They do have a lot of great stuff. I mean, the companies that we like to work with, are the big players. There's Envision Decking by Tamco. There's Trex. There's TimberTech. There's Fiberon. AZAC's another great player. But those are the top 5 main players that we work with, and we try to, like I said, cater to what the client's needs are.
And why did Cindy choose wood? There's an awfully lot of wood out here, and it is absolutely gorgeous. And I really think, as beautiful as the composites are, there's nothing like real wood as far as beauty. But you tell me if I'm wrong on that.
Well, like I said, even this porch here, we framed everything with wood, but everything you see inside is more or less PVC. So we take the wood and we wrapped it with PVC. The beams are a number one clear grade Southern Yellow Pine. Once again, that number one clear grade is what we really focus in on, and we give a better fit and finish. And so that's what we like to use.
Yeah, everything is so pretty. Tell me some of your favorite features about this deck.
Well, one of my favorite, it's really not seen that well, but there's the outdoor kitchen. It's got a curved radius roof, and it has a cedar frame to it. And then there's also a fire pit that just looks absolutely amazing when it's lit up.
Oh yeah, there's a great picture of it when it's
and then
lit
little
up.
things,
Yeah.
even in that shot right there, you see the low voltage lighting and the sconce lights. Just those little attention to detail things really make it inviting, make you want to come outside.
Yeah, and I really like, I love those pictures from night like that. That is so pretty. I like the stone, how there's just little bits of stone and that kind of thing around, so you see a nice mix of material.
Absolutely. So the one thing, wood and stone go really, really well together.
Mm-hmm.
Even in the porch, I kind of call it like a 3-color or 4-color plop, because you got more or less, you have, the tile floor, which is more of a neutral mix match of different colors. Then you have, the color of the trim, which is on the columns, and then you have the color of the stain on the beams. So you get this 3-color pop going, and the inside of the porch just looks amazing.
Yeah, I love this picture too. So this is a live look that we're looking at from the pavilion, because there is so much to see here. You can't see it all from one angle. But yeah, so this really brings, I would think, when she goes out and entertains, or the kids are swimming, you can just have this really nice covered place right next to it. Just really probably makes you use the pool more often than you think.
Cindy already had a beautiful pool with a water feature in it, and we just took that same area, dressed it up, put a big covered pavilion, went with 2 large ceiling fans, some sconce lights, and it's a great place to hang out, watch the kids play, entertain guests and family, and it's large and spacious enough where you do have some areas covered and some areas uncovered.
Yeah.
And then at night, the kids can roast
I
marshmallows.
love that, yeah.
You know, on that fire pit, and we're smart. We put a drain in the bottom, so at least it's not, you know, pulling any water. And you know, we've got a natural hill right down the side where it all drains out. But just these little attention to detail things just mean so much to the overall function and fit of the project.
So we do have another question.
Yes.
Wendy Caps is asking, can you redo an existing deck, or do you always have to start with something new? Do you have to get rid of the deck you have and start with something new?
Well, even in Cindy's case, we reused the old framework down below. I believe we reused the old framework here. So we had to come in, we had to reinforce, it is about 18 feet off the ground, so we had to use engineered steel columns. But we were able to reuse this. It still was a lot of work to do because of the height and the situations, but yes, we can reuse the framework. But it, you know, in some cases, you think you're going to save a lot of money, but you're really not, because you still got to basically do just about everything else to it, and it may even be a little bit more work.
Yeah, I really love, we were just looking at the before shot and the after, so that kind of points out just exactly what you were saying. So are you going to, I know you were going to you're going to be out at Neary Atlanta Tour of Remodeled Homes, is that
Yes.
correct? So people can come out and like actually meet you and ask you questions, and it is a different project that you've
It's
got
a
for
different
that.
project over in Marietta that we did about a year and a half ago. It's a wonderful project. You know, we won an award for it. Hopefully with Miss Cindy's project here, we just finished it. So this fall we'll be entering in at some contests and we'll see how we do. Yeah, I'm very confident that this will definitely get some recognition at least.
Yeah. So, are people ever surprised at like these projects are not inexpensive? Are people always surprised by what they are
Yes.
going to have to pay?
Yes, I mean, like you said, let me just set the table here for most of the deck projects we do. Let me give you the high, let me give you the low, let me give you a range. You know, decks start, you know, anywhere, let's say wood deck. It can start 25, 30,000, low end 15. I'm giving you guys the high number first, so you know, you realize 30 to 15 for wood decks. For composite decks, it may go high as 50 or 60,000. They probably start at about, you know, 20. So 50 to 20. Once again, wide range on size, shape, and options. Even these covered porches, they start at about 40,000 and go up. So it really just depends on what you want, what features you want. Most of the porch projects that we do are in the range of anywhere from as high as 80, 90,000 to 40,000.
Yeah. And you know, it's like building another place in your home. And so, you know, it is quite an investment, but if you're going to have that deck out there and not use it, what's that too,
Yeah.
you know? And I'm sure it would help somewhat on resale, not necessarily that you're going to get all of that back out, but
Sure.
you do get so much enjoyment out of these outdoor living spaces. And so tell me a little bit about, and we can't see it here, but tell me, we talked a little bit earlier about all the different mix of material. I really like this tile. We can't see it on the floor right now, but I want you to tell me a little bit about this. I just really like it.
Well, you know, Cindy, you know,
Oh,
She-
there's a good shot to
yeah,
see
the-
it. Yeah.
The floor is amazing. It's what the client wanted. She was, I believe she was working with she's in commercial real estate, and they saw a building that had this type of particular tile. She researched it. She found out what it is. She found out what the product was, and it is like little brick tiles, and it just gives it that nice, warm, you know, homey, old style world look, and it's very unique, very different. I think I've only used this type of size tile twice in our, you know, 18, 20 year career, but it really comes out nice when you put it down, you lay it on a brick pattern, and it's got such a multitude of different colors, from tans to browns to grays to whites. It really, you know, accentuates everything.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say. I really like the color of it, and I like that it gives it almost like it's more formal. So if she wanted to have a dinner party and serve guests out here, that it is an absolutely beautiful place where you could do that.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, we basically are creating the outdoor oasis, trying to make you the envy of the neighborhood.
I think she would definitely be the envy of the neighborhood. She's really lucky too that this sits on this gorgeous lot with all
Yes.
these trees. And I would sit out here all the time. I know she works from home every once in a while. It would be wonderful just to sit out here and enjoy, you see the birds, you hear everything. It's just wonderful out here.
Yeah, it's a blessing, and like you said, thank God for people like Cindy who engage us and let us show our picture book and come up with a plan that like I said, we can draw the very simple, basic, but we can also draw the very large scale and elaborate project. And this is on that scale, and like I said, we love to work with clients like that.
Yeah. And so, do you find that people will come back year after year? Do they kind of want to do their decks in stages? Do you get a lot of repeat business?
We do. I mean, we try to basically, if we want to build a relationship, build a trust, hopefully earn someone's business. So if we do a good job, we're here for the long haul. So maybe we do a deck now, and then 2 years, 3 years, we can do the screen and porch. And then maybe there's a patio or fireplace or fire pit. And we also do basements and bathrooms. We do some interior work. So we want to be your go-to person for all your home improvement needs. Even if we don't do it, we can refer you over to somebody. If it's a smaller handyman or maybe it's a light painter or something, our book opens up to you.
Yeah.
So I can't give you my carpenters, but I can give you just about everybody else. But we want to take care of you. We want to build that relationship, build that trust, and hopefully have a long-term relationship, for as long as we live.
Yeah, and we do invite you to ask questions. You have an expert right here to be able to provide you some answers. And, okay, we've got another good question from Ron Ballard. He's asking, any advice for protecting against wood-boring bees? Oh, good question. That is a big problem here in Georgia.
That is, I really would go to the more pesticide companies. Probably have to treat it maybe in the spring and the fall. Those carpenter bees, they get a lot of things. So we refer that over to more like an exterminator type of guy. But yeah, I got a lot of woodwork at my house, and it's a constant battle.
It is. They always want to go. They are always doing battle with us. So, so tell me some of the things that people need to really look out for when they're if they did try to go, let me get the best price on a deck, some of the things where they might be cutting corners, like workman's comp insurance and some of the basics that you really have to have.
I mean, is the contractor licensed? Is he insured? Does he belong to trade organizations? What type of material is he going to use? Is he going to use the cheapest material out there? Does he have a portfolio of past projects? Can he show you some of the projects he's just recently finished? And, it's funny because sometimes I get beat up on price, and I understand that. I'm not the most expensive guy. I'm not the least expensive either, but we give you a great bang for your buck and really create this outdoor environment that makes you want to come out there. But you really, I tell people, if you're going to spend 15, 20, 25, 30 grand, please people, and you're going to go with the low guy, get in your vehicle and go see that person's work. That is, like when somebody told me a long time ago, when you do a project, you're putting your name, you're autographing that name with your signature. And if money's really, really tight and that's all you can afford, I tell people, maybe you hold off. Maybe you don't do the project. Maybe you wait another year or two or refinance the house, get a little bit more money and do it right. Because I can tell you story upon story about how people rushed into a project, spent a little bit of money, and now they got a hot mess on their hands.
And do they call you for those
Oh,
too?
yes. I'll tell you one quick story. There was a young man, we'll call him Mr. Collin, great customer. He was getting married. He's trying to get his house ready for his wife and everybody. And he was rushing. He had to get it painted, had to get some other work done, some flooring work. And he just hired basically the first contractor that came out there. And he paid $15,000 for a deck 3 years ago. And it wasn't what he wanted. It wasn't what he liked. He has a private lake, can't see the lake. And basically, he was just in a rush. He paid the guy and let him go. We came back 3 years later. We sat down, asked them questions, designed something, wanted to see the lake, wanted to make it bigger, wanted to reinforce the sunroom. Yes, he invested more money with us, and we tore down the deck, and we gave him a great outdoor living space.
Yeah,
But-
but then you wasted that money.
Yes,
Yeah.
he spent about 40,000 with us, and 15 with the other guy. He kind of just wasted the 15,000.
Yeah.
So it
And,
is
and
what
I
it
know
is.
you see this sort of thing all the time. We only have a couple of minutes left.
Yes,
So are there any other points you want to make? Any other things that you want to talk about?
Like I said, ask questions, listen, learn. You can learn from anybody. I'm just one expert, and like I said, we really want to take care of you guys, design something that's going to best suit your needs, and make you the envy of the neighborhood. We love to work with everybody out here. It's free to talk on the phone, so we love to talk to you.
Yeah. And absolutely fabulous work. It's always fun to see a project like this. We really want to thank Cindy for allowing us to come out here. And I do want to make this point. You may see that we're a little warm out here, but Cindy's got some great fans. It's so important to get those fans out when you are in Georgia. And she has some great fans. We just couldn't run them during this because you guys would hear them. But
Yeah.
it is wonderful out here, and it's totally comfortable to be out here in the middle of the afternoon. You just really love it.
Yeah. Well, thank you guys very much. Appreciate everything you did for us. Thank you, Cindy, and thank you to our team. And looking forward to showing you our next video in the future.
Yeah, and also to go to the NARI, you can go to naryatlanta.org, check out the NARI Atlanta Tour of Remodeled Homes so that you can come and see another one of Frank's projects and ask him your questions in person. So thanks for joining us, and we'll see you next time.